Hello everybody, this is episode 11 of Getting Started in Front-End Web Development, and in this tutorial I am going to set up the footer HTML markup. So far we have got our logo, our social icons, our menu system here, then we have got our banner in place and these three thumbnail section, and then we have got our contact us form in place. The next thing we need to do is we need to come here in our PSD mockup, and this is the another thing that we need to code. This is the footer section that we have to incorporate in our mockup. So now if you have missed out on any of these things that I created, this header section, this banner section, and the contact form section, then you can just go here to my playlist on YouTube and you can follow along with me with these tutorials. I've got 10 tutorials up by now, so to start working along with me you can watch from tutorial number 1 down unto this tutorial number 10. Just go to the YouTube, go to YouTube and search for Getting Started in Front-End Web Development. This is the playlist name for my tutorial series. So my tutorials will pop up and you can watch and work along with me. So let's see what we have got to do in this tutorial. The main aim of this tutorial basically is to create the skeleton of this footer section. So in this tutorial I am not going to style this footer, but I am going to create the skeleton with the raw HTML. So the biggest hurdle that we as a beginner face when we have something like when we have a goal of something like this to put up on a web page is that we don't actually know where to start, how to actually structure out our this layout, and how to place each element, where to place each of these elements so as to get the desired result. So in this tutorial we are going to learn all of that, and let's jump right into our Dreamweaver and start coding. So this is my process. When I see something like this to be put up on web page, I first look at the structure. I have got to wrap this whole footer section in a div. So I'll place a div for my this wrapper. I'll call this div footer and I'll give it ID of footer, and it right there, and then place a comment to myself end of footer so that I do not get lost afterwards when I have got whole lot of other divs nested inside of this. I would know where this footer div is ending exactly. So next thing I need to do is I need to see in my mockup, and in here I have got this top section which has got the logo and our menu system. So I need to create a div for this. So let's call this div a div ID footer top. Okay, I'll give some space here and I'll call div ID footer top to this div. This div will be containing that logo and the menu links. I'll put a comment here and of footer top, that ends right there, and going down one line, and then inside of this footer top I need another div for which will hold this logo graphic. It will be contained inside of an anchor tag. So I'll first create an anchor tag with href of hash and end it right there. Inside of this anchor tag I want a div with ID of footer logo and end it there. Then after that I have got to have this menu links inside there. So for the menu links, I want to create an ordered list with Lee and anchor tags inside of it. So inside of our footer tab, we have got another unordered list for the menu links and our unordered list there, and move it down a couple of line, just one line in this case. And then we have got to create Lees, and inside of this Lee I want to create an anchor tag and put a placeholder link in there for the time being. Now copy this Lee and A tags as many times as you have got these links to be made. Okay, so I've got 1 2 3 4 5 6 links to be made. I'll copy these 5 times down here. 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so inside of this anchor tag here, these anchor tags here, I want to put these texts which we have got: home, company, profile, then service. Let's put in home, then I'll put in company, profile. We will not create it to be bold, like I don't want it to be like this thing. I don't want it to be in caps like this, because this is not the search engine friendly. They won't recommend this. So we need to put it in camel case like this, home. We will style it to have the caps system using our style sheet. So don't worry about that right now. We'll do it when we'll style our footer section. So we have got home, we have got company, profile. Next thing we want is this services and then success stories. So services and then success stories. Then we have got clients and then contact, then contact us. That is it for the top link section. So we have got a div for this logo, we have got unordered list for this, and we have got a div wrapping whole of this called div called footer top. Okay, the next thing we will move on will be this down bottom section here. So let me just call footer bottom. Let me just give a wrapper div for that. I'll call it footer. I'll call it footer. Oh, sorry. I need to call it a div with the ID of footer bottom. So let's put a remark here, and of footer bottom right there, and then move down one line. And inside of this footer bottom, we want to create a div for this top section, which will be follow us on. Okay, so how I'll go about this is, let's create a div called follow us on. Let's create a div, some spaces here, create a div with the ID of follow, no, let's call it a social, let's give it ID of social, yeah, that would be nice name, and it right there, and of social div. Okay, move down one line, and then inside of this social div will be this div wrapping these icons here. Okay, so inside of this social div I want to create this label. I will call it label, or in fact not, in fact let's give it a div. I'll call it div id, let's give it id of label. Okay, and inside of this I want to write this text down which says follow us on, follow, follow us on, and right there. And then after that, to create the space for these icons, I will do the same thing that I did for this link section top here. I'll create unordered list of these icons. Okay, so let's create unordered list, ul, and it right there, and then inside of this I'll create a lead tag, and it right there, and create an anchor tag which will be linking to these social pages. Okay, which will help us to link to these social pages, and inside of these we will have image tags which will basically bringing these icons, these social icons. Okay, these footer social icons. So we will need to crop these footer social icons. Just see if they are, we already have them in our images folder because we have them on top here as well, so we will use the same social icons. Okay, so we are just creating, in fact let's just get them in right now since we have them. So first social icon is Facebook, so I'll call it image src, and go into my images folder and then browse for Facebook icon, FB icon it says here, and give it an alternate name of FB icon. Okay, similarly I would like to copy this image tag, lead tag basically, which is wrapping the anchor tag and the image tag, and copy it 3 times down here, 1 2 3. Okay, and only thing that we need to change now is the source attribute of this image tag. So source attribute for this image tag will point to the Twitter icon, src points to the Twitter icon now, and we'll give it alternate name of Twitter icon, and source for the third image tag will point to YouTube icon. So source points to YouTube icon here, and I'll give it alternate name of YouTube icon, and source for this fourth should point to Google plus icon that we have, and I'll give it G plus icon as the alternate name. So that is up for these social icons there. The next div that we want to create is for this copyright section that is down here. So let's create another div. In fact, you can create a paragraph tag down, but I'll create a div and give it an ID of copyright. So just down below this section here, the social section, I'll create div with the ID of copyright, and it right there, call it end of copyright. Move this closing tag down one line, and then inside of this copyright div I want to create another div which will hold the text, or let's just create a paragraph div inside of this. Yes, that would be good to do. And inside of this paragraph I'll just put this text. Let me just copy this from here in the PSD so we don't waste our time. Copy and then just paste it here. Okay, so this is basically the skeleton that we have got to style, and we will be styling it in the next tutorial. So you can just control and or command S to save the document, and then just go into your browser and refresh. So at the moment you don't have pretty much anything done except for having your skeleton up in the markup here. So we have got these links up here, we have got these social icons, we have got this text for the copyright section, but we don't have anything like this, which is the pretty much the finished product that we want. We want it to be styled in this fashion, but to get to this point we have to code our skeleton for this thing that we have done here. So in next tutorial I'm going to move ahead in styling this skeleton of our footer section. So keep watching. Happy winters. Bye bye.